It's now my great pleasure to welcome back Susan Erdman, whose pioneer scientific work shows how deeply interwoven we are with nature in ways that we might not even realize, and how these relationships can open us to transformation and a deeper sense of shared consciousness. So it's really wonderful to have you back with us again, Susan. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to be here, to learn, to explore, and to share with everyone. Dr. Prescott asked me to share a little bit about transformation through relationships and what we've learned about our studies with the natural world and symbiosis connections among organisms. So we have this improbable scientific discovery that set the stage for all of this. And we were studying microbes. Microbial symbionts is the discovery that we made. And it was the possibility that these microorganisms are sharing in our being in ways way beyond our understanding. Our basic discovery was involving the neuropeptide hormone oxytocin, and I'll talk a little bit about the thought processes, our hypotheses, and what we learned from our journey. Much of this starts back in my childhood with our interconnected nature. Other speakers have gone back and talked about their childhood as well. And I was raised on a farm and spent many, many days, weeks out in the farm fields, looking out over the beautiful world and all the animals that we share the world with, the plants and the whole natural cycle, and just made some discoveries that I still don't understand and have probably motivated much of the scientific journey that I'll share with you today. There were experiences of moving through time and space in ways that I don't understand and can't explain. Flashes of insight and inspiration that came from those journeys through time and space, all while sitting in the grass with the horse and the dog. And I want to share a little bit about what we've learned about the science since then. We had a unifying hypothesis, and this emerged from our studies of microbes and microbial symbionts. And we were studying how these symbionts, microbial symbionts, modulate host immunity and even neurochemicals. And our hypothesis was that this transcended our basic understanding of just individuals and spanned generations and became very universal. The basic science involved the study of the microbes of the birth canal and breast milk and how these microbiota in a mammalian host, for example, might modulate host immunity and neurochemicals. Oxytocin was a candidate neurochemical because of its significant roles in social bonding and reproduction. But the interesting elements of this are that oxytocin is also linked with spirituality, love, and universal interconnectedness. And so all of this became integrated into a broader concept of how we experience the universe. So these symbionts and neurochemicals act within an individual, but it might also span generations, building a framework of universal wisdoms that we might recognize as instincts, but they are the essence of who we are and how we share in the world. So some basic information about oxytocin, if you're not familiar with it, it's a neurochemical. It's sometimes called the love hormone, and it fosters feelings of closeness, trust, and attachment. Oxytocin is very important in intimacy, and many of us might experience this in our personal relationships and an interest in social connections, and also in relationships with animals or with nature. It's very important in reproduction, particularly in mammalian reproduction, but also reproduction in all the animal species, essential for childbirth, milk release, and bonding, and very important in reducing anxiety and promoting feelings of well-being, peace, and happiness. The aspects of oxytocin that became most interesting to me as a scientist, though, were not limited to those things that were currently understood, but were more reaching into the realms that helped me understand the same questions I had from childhood about this sense of belonging with the universe and being able to move through space and time, even though I was anchored on the earth or anchored in a field, my mind was connecting with things that were happening far and wide across time and space in ways I still can't explain and have spent my whole life trying to understand. Oxytocin in particular, science shows, builds this sense of spirituality, positive emotions, and a feeling of connectedness with the universe. It stimulates a sense of awe and wonder and immense gratitude that have always explained in words things that I feel, but have been unable to explain and understand. We put together a series of scientific experiments, many of them which explained the things in this cycle of how microbial symbionts and oxytocin are connected with very fundamental aspects of who we are in a material sense, our sociability and life cycles through reproduction that actually end up transcending generations. And we put together some hypotheses. This is from something that was written in 2017, but I think really starts to tickle at the edges of the concepts of what we're talking about. And that was that these microorganisms were boosting a hormone within us, a neurochemical that was changing our perceptions of who we are and our connections with the universe in ways that have not just driven our evolution, but help connect us with life across time and space. And so this piece doesn't explain all of that, but it gives you a sense of the directions that we were heading with this. We viewed this through a prism of transgenerational consciousness in which these microbial symbionts, as an example of this connection between the microbes that are boosting this hormone within a mammalian host, that this concept might build on itself and span generations in ways that our collective wisdom isn't just who we are in the here and now, it's everything that came before us. And that everything that came before us is all the collective, not just microorganisms, but everything of the earth and universe, in a way that this is passed on from generation to generation. And it's always there within all of us and just needs to be accessed in order to be understood and enjoyed. This was our concept of connected consciousness. I don't believe that I've ever answered the questions of my childhood. I can't begin to explain or answer many aspects of the things that I experience in life, but I'm thrilled to be in this journey of exploration that all of us are in to try and understand who we are and how broadly we're connected with the world around us. I wanted to make sure that my husband, Brian, was credited with all of the discoveries that I've ever made because he's a source of joy and inspiration. He took a lot of the photos that are in this presentation, so thank you, wonderful husband, for all of that. We've adopted 20 retired track greyhounds over the years, and they have shared in our lives and brought us a source of joy and inspiration that's beyond words. And then, of course, I wanted to thank our scientific team. I worked for years at MIT, am now retired. I own a yoga studio and teach yoga and meditation, among other things. And my research team at MIT got me this t-shirt that reads, "Life isn't all yoga and dogs, but it should be." Thank you very much.